We. Hey. This is just a little chit chat, my loves. This is not a proper live. We just come for chit chat. We just come for chat to people in business little bit. We. We just come for chit chat the people them a little bit. Voila, let me just lock this for subscribers only come. I can't bother with this the people them will love each of themselves on the live. Hey Joanne, what's up? Hey Andreen, hey Creations, hey Nadine, hey Kathy, hey Juliet. Big up yourself. Yeah, we come for chat to people in business little bits, little bits. Hey. So, have you all seen what's going on now with Rosalie? Everybody's posted up Rosalie a broke out, Rosalie a dance in a Mecca for Akeem, Mecca club. You know, that's the one club I didn't go to when I was in Jamaica last. I need to visit there the next time. But yes, them they are going with themselves, them and the squads, right? Now this is within 24 hours or so of Rosalie losing her children to the Child Protection Services in Jamaica. So Rosalie Dada, she had dance and she had go out with herself and she had smoke her what you call it there? What you call it again? One hookah pipe. What you call it again? The pipe there. And it's interesting watching the comments and people's reaction. As I'm tell you, say some of these followers, them are your biggest downfall in a life. If you follow what the things that what people say without thought, you lose your soul, and everything with it. Because the slackness was about people, support. Me not understand. Me don't understand it. But it's my business, because my picnic them safe and sound. Yeah. And me not careless like some of what things of them kind of thing. Yeah, right. Let me talk about it a minute. Because nobody is saying that Rosalie should not de-stress. It's a stressful thing. And imagine that you lose your kids and everything in the house I remind you of them. You might have want to step out, you might have want to go breeze out, you might have want to go cool your head. But optics, visibility, the fact that you are an online social media personality, these idiots that are surrounding Rosalie, nobody's advising her. Everybody just act on impulse. Everybody just act on impulse. And this is the kind of thing that's the child protection services. I mean, understand, say no CDA again. I wait name CPFSA are going to be analyzing to determine whether or not this woman is a fit mother. She out there a blow out, smoke out her nose hole like dragon, a wind up per man, which I know even the father the picture them. She outside looking a little bit fresh. And we all know that she have a substance problem because can't stop smoking weed or whatever else he's saying smoke. You understand? You guys are not thinking about how this impacts on her assessment. And this is why you cannot listen to the masses, the majority. You have to be sensible and take yourself away from the popular, because the popular is not necessarily sensible. And that is a fact. You understand me? Monique Bates gave her some good advice, but clearly a lot of people gave her some good advice, creations. Lots of people. Big up yourself, Vanessa Maseo. Hey, Diana. A lot of people gave Rose good advice. Even RT Boss, the Obia man, who I'm not a fan of, gave her some good advice. But even now, he himself having to come away thinking, what the hell is going on? But I had an interesting thought, and I'm going to share it with you, my brothers, because I wonder if me wants to this. Is it possible that Rose actually relieved that her children taken? I'm just asking a question. It's a thought-provoking one. It may be controversial, but it is not a impossibility. Have you ever considered that Rose is actually relieved that the pressure of motherhood has been removed from her, even if it's temporarily? Because remember, a lot of people in the lower socioeconomical bracket that end up pregnant and without a stable situation. Sometimes it's because of lack of thought, lack of control, lack of family planning, ignorance. You understand? Which is why there's a lot of frustration in such households when they are faced with the responsibility and the tasks that are involved around raising a child. There are pressures involved in raising children that are worsened by being disenfranchised, meaning you're not educated, so you can't get any job. You're living in the ghetto, so you can't get any job. You understand? Now, we see a woman who has come on here to say that she not got time for PTA. She don't have time for go to no teacher, go find out how fair picnic them are doing in no school. She busy. And those people who came out claiming it is all about prank and money, I hope on see now that the Jamaica Observer has published the perspectives of the child protection services in Jamaica that confirmed that indeed the children were taken. But more significantly, and this is just what we reasoned on the live yesterday, more significantly, they had been in touch with Rosalie on multiple occasions to try and reason with her, which is supposed to be the first step. Always try to work with the family. And Rosalie's response was that she too busy and she not have time. And that she seemed to find time for go bubble pan man in a club. Are you guys not concerned about the optics at all? And run out to talk about house. CDA must go down. Give back the woman or pick them. A beat up on the chest and more concerned than Rosalie is about how things appear in terms of how she's coping with it. Rosalie live her best life. Rosalie live her best life and other than stress out. Me not stress out. Because as I said, I'm happy to them. You understand? And she must know. Because all right, yes, she may want to go de-stress. She may want to go relax. But you know what a wise friend would advise her? Rosalie, come we go somewhere where you can just sit down and chill, or have a little drink, or have a little introspection. Make we go somewhere calm. Now make we go somewhere with no woolly light pan you. I watch everything where you do. Make we go for a drive. Make we go up a Strawberry Hill. Go sit down on the roadside and all a reason. There's so many things in Jamaica you can go do. When I involve going to club for broke out and wine pan man. No, you not go see that. She need for go broke out and de-stress. Mama need for just go let go herself. You know what that shows to child protection? It shows somebody that once again is incapable of emotional regulation, which we spoke about. Once again, another person that gives in to her extremes. Once again, a mother who does not have control. Once again, a mother who does not prioritize the needs of her children. All them something they are wait give child protection when they are assessing. Because at this current time, that's what is happening. And only not seem to realize that this is a real risk that she can lose them kids' favor, you know. It's a real risk. That's ignorant people talking garbage. CDA has to protect the children. Absolutely. Hey, Tatiana, big up yourself. Right? Una don't seem to realize it's a real risk. So you see all them people that will encourage the foolishness and don't understand what is taking place. Me all hear people we are chat when they even have no chicken or child and don't even know what it feel like for raise a picnic. Because there are many of us who don't have chicken or child but know what it is like to raise a child, yes? So this is not about your capability of having children. This is about your knowledge, your experience and understanding. Yes? And some of them don't have none. And even some we don't have any know so this is rubbish. Much less. Right? We don't have to think about optics. Because remember, a huge part of Rosalee's assessment will be what they see on social media. Because she's a social media personality, a huge part of it is going to be that. So when she is out there, broke out and a wine palm man, is she giving the impression that she is providing a home of stability for her children? The ignorance is the majority, and that me see. That me see more than anything else, the ignorance is the majority. I don't know wonder why there is always going to be a 1% in this world that take the lead in certain ways that some of us can only imagine. It's our mindset that is our biggest enemy. Our mindset that is our biggest enemy. More and more Jamaica turning a liquor foreign, You understand? More and more Jamaica turning to liquor foreign. A whole heap of the systems them where they in a first world country, Missy Jamaica adapting them quick and fast. Yeah? They are using first world models down there as policy and practice. And a whole heap of uno now go ready for what them are going to give uno. Because you guys are so used to being rebellious against systems. Uno now go even realize when systems are cracked down upon uno. Yeah. I tired telling us because everybody depend. Why them not go find the parents, them are the street boys and blah blah blah. Uno don't seem to know what clock a strike. So me I gotta remind you again. A huge part of the objectives of the government is to focus on cybersecurity and its impacts on the populace, which means they are going to pay close attention to propaganda, misinformation, and negative influence, particularly by those personalities that have huge persuasiveness with the public. If you don't understand what I say, pull up back the video and listen again. So first on their hit list are people that can swing the population into the wrong direction that they don't want it to go. The government is starting to recognize the impact of social media on the mindset of the people. So those of you with high visibility who carry on like you don't have no sense, they're going to pay attention to you a lot. And when you're doing things that show that the public are behind you and those things are counterproductive to their new world order situation, yeah, the first one that we use, make an example. All right. Don't believe me. Carry on as normal. What is that? Society has broken down, and the moment you do and say the right thing, you are being bashed and classed. Yeah. Them a go cuss you and them a go trace you, But they can't come on my page with it. They know that. There's a space for such, right? But them a go cuss you and them a go trace you if you say the things them where the truth. Nobody's saying that Rosalie cannot go out and she cannot go and de-stress and unwind. But there are consequences when the de-stressing look reckless, careless, and feckless in the eyes of those who have got her children. That is the thing. That's what you guys are not seeing and you don't care about. You just want to be on the side of, me I go big up Rosalie because the world I come down upon her. Okay, all right. I kind of get that. Because it's never nice when everybody is suddenly coming down on another female especially. So people feel like they have to run out and defend up Rosalie and protect her. All right. Yeah, your heart might be in the right place, but please do not forget your logic while you are carrying your heart, you see? Because you have to not only try to encourage her, but you also have to tell her the truth. And if it is that you are close to somebody like that, you need to be using wisdom and overstanding. Because you have to be thinking, okay, Rosalie, what are the next steps in the CPFSA's plan where you are concerned? Well, them say, them I go interview my kids, them I go turn up at my house, I do visits, them need to see that my environment is, amicable for raising children. Them need to see that my mental health is intact, that I can be a responsible mother. And listen, a lot of you gonna say, but we're responsible mothers and we go make a go broke out. You are not under the flipping radar. Use your brain. If nobody is trying to scrutinize you, then you can be free to go make a go broke out, knowing that you're still coming home to tuck your children into bed and read them a bedtime flipping story. But Rosalie's under the flipping microscope. How are you guys not seeing that? Leggy said, big up yourself, Leggy. At this point, I do not think Rosalie should get back her kids as yet. No. It is going to delay the process. Everything that she's doing right now is going to delay what is going to happen. And this is not to say that she will never, ever, ever get them back. But it will not be as quick as it could have been. Every step that she makes in the public eye that can be put. And listen, I'm going to try and train some of your brains as to how these systems work as somebody who works with safeguarding of kids all the time. You see, once your behavior can be put to one of the markers of abuse of a child, you have already set yourself back several paces behind in the process of getting your children back. So if you display something that is attached to emotional abuse, if you display something that's attached to neglect, if you display something that's attached to physical abuse, if you display something that's attached to economical abuse, I am telling you that all of these things are taken into account in the assessment process to determine whether or not you are a fit and able parent. Uno just have operate pan uno flipping, impulsive emotions, raw behavior without any brain behind it. That me see. If she continues with this behavior, she have a fight. Let me not tell you. She certainly won't get those kids back doing what she is. No, it's not going to happen. And a lot of you are thinking that this is a fight against and is a tear down and is a whatever. You have to be smart. When you're working with systems, you have to play chess. Otherwise, the system will shaft you right up the backside. Nobody's advising Rosalie. Nobody advised that woman there. None at all. Right? All them people they will use Rosalie to build up on views and hype up on events. Uno no care now that things hit the fan. All them promoter they will have her travel all over the place. No, uno they encourage her. All of uno we want Rosalie to attach to this a party and that the party. For put money in our pocket. None of uno can't advise Rosalie. But like I said, I asked a crucial question. Is it possible that Rosalie is actually relieved that she is no longer in the custody of her children? Did Rosalie see motherhood as a burden? Remember the things that she said, which caused the Child Protective Services to escalate, Because just like we said on the live yesterday, that comment was the straw that broke the camel's back. And possibly, when you really analyze what she said, all those stresses that she mentioned that could have made her do all those things were attached to her household situation, an integral part of which are her children. So is it possible that Rosalie is actually relieved that she don't have to think about them? I mean, children don't just bring emotional stress, they drain your pockets, all of them kind of something. You have to be working, you have to be earning, and if anything, they push you to do more so that you can maintain the lifestyle that they need. Is it possible that she is feeling a huge relief? Because what and don't get me wrong, people deal with stress in different ways. Okay? I get that. Some people would take to the bottle. Some people start use substance. You understand? Some people just get depressed, lock in, don't even bathe. I get that. And the way she was smoking that pipe, it look like say, me no know what kind of dragon behavior this. It like in the past. Right? So maybe there's stuff going on there emotionally and so on and so forth. I get it. But you know what real friends are supposed to do? Real friends are supposed to ring fence you when they see you spiraling and try their best to protect you when you are at your most vulnerable. And me can't really blame them. Me know Rosalie our own big woman, but everybody become a child at the point of vulnerability. And the people who are not necessarily going through that stress need to sometimes be your shield and buckler. And you try to tell me, say nobody. Not that if one rose about the optics. And by optics, I mean what things look like to the people who have your kids. The fact that she spoke, it is possible she could snap and commit what she did. Yes, and this is why they had to act. They stated that. You understand? This is why they had to act because at this point, based on whatever it is that they have been building up. Remember, we even said it in the live yesterday that they must have been communicating with the school. So said, so done. They revealed that in the Jamaica Observer article thing that they had been in touch with the school, that there were several reports that came through anonymously, which led to their investigation and building a file on Rosalie, that the school was very much aware that there was an investigation on her kids and herself. So when she doing these things now, where you think that I go feed into? Exactly what comes to my mind today after seeing her club action, like she's on vacation from motherhood for the time being. Yeah, she not have to feed them, she not have to clothe them, she not have to discipline them, she not have to think about them. Somebody else a do it, the system a do it. Women, a lot of these women, these young women that end up with kids never have nobody around them to give them any kind of guidance and as to how to parent. A lot of us didn't. But what some of us can say is that we were probably raised in an environment where we saw living examples of good parenting. Some people come from an environment where they never see that and they have to figure it out on them own. And during that figuring out process, which can take very long to the point where some of them don't even figure it out at all, they can make several mistakes. More so than somebody who has come from a stable background family-wise. You understand? There is no perfection in parenting. However, a lot of these women, these young women who end up with kids, they take out their frustrations on their kids when the choice to have them was their own. And the children didn't ask to be here. So is it that we are seeing Rosalie as this Rosalie that we're seeing at the club? Is it a relief? Is it a thank God me not have to think about all of that? Although it's stressful, me can finally broke out without thinking of me have to go home, go feed this one year, or me have to find money for give this one year for school or whatever. A huge part of our healing process will be learning how to parent. and cope with everyday stresses. You understand? Which will also be integral to her counseling that she gets and how to discipline fundamentally. Because this is what they were saying, that they got reports of abuse and neglect. Of course, they don't just take away your kids without intervention first, but she didn't take it serious. Rose thought that the way she behaved on social media, she could with CDA, and CDA had no choice. Yes, who knows? Maybe this is the life she wants. She's relieved. Maybe that's why I'm saying that we're probably looking at things in the wrong way, thinking that she just did it at a party or whatever. It could be showing you a deeper thing. But these are all assumptions and us speculating from the outside, because none of us are in Rosalee's shoes. We don't really know what's going on. But what I can say definitively is that the things that she does, be it that it is her stress relief and she's still depressed and all of that, which could also be true, people, will impact on how the child protection services see her as a fit mother. And that cannot be denied. No matter what you may feel about Rosalie being able to party, you have to be smart. And some of you are not capable of thinking on those levels. So listen to those of us who have an understanding of what systems can do. You see me, I say? But likewise, we're not gonna name up ourselves more than the mother. Just I tell you. And you followers who can they say whatever. Rosalie friend them can carry her out and make her go and do a recklessness in a public eye if they want. At the end of the day, the person I go feel the belly pain of Rosalie. If she not decide to take on the advice or decide to reflect, introspect, and recognize the seriousness of what is taking place. You see me I say? What part is this Jake's playing in all of this? I heard somebody mention on the previous live that Jake's apparently had abused her physically. I don't know if it was on live or in front of her mother, or in front of her kids or whatever. But, what part is this man playing in all of this is a good question to ask. And I know a lot of people are going to say, guys, don't blame Jakes for Rosalie's behavior and so on. You notice that the Child Protection Services said that that report that Pinky did put out a foolishness and we for disregard it. Them say a foolishness and we for disregard it, where it says June is the main problem and all these kind of things. Because I asked the question. Because I said to myself, hang on a minute. If June is the problem, as this so-called false news where Pinky put out is, then remember, as we went through the policy for protection of children yesterday, the act rather, the Child Protection Act, they said the first move when it comes to remove all of the children is to place the child with a parent or a family member. That's the priority, because the first step is always to keep families together. However, if this man is also a part of the problem, there's no way that those children can stay there, because as I also said, another thing they can do is remove the adult. And them never say, remove June, left the pit in them in their home, arrest she and take she away. No. Them say, no, the two of them no fit. Carry them away. Gone somewhere else. Likewise, if he was the fit parent and she was the abuser, meaning all him a get abused too. When them speak to him, and so he's going to be the one that can have contact with the children, even if he doesn't know where they are. You understand? I mean, you're not talk about that. So clearly something else is going on, bigger than what we can even imagine. He ain't no good neither. Bad parenting all around. Going to club in these early days of investigations, it don't look good. Yeah. They say the little girl told the teacher she did not want to go home, so the teacher called. Hey. Hmm. Them can't say so, people, but we have to go by what we have read in the article, right? Because that is the most factual update we have had from the Child Protection Services. And nothing was mentioned about a full, about the child making any report. Not that they would necessarily reveal that, but they did make it very clear that there was an ongoing investigation where she was concerned. Lots of anonymous reports that led to them having to investigate and communicate with the school. And that her final commentary on social media was what made them escalate their need to take the children into care. And right now, they are either supposed to be at family members or a friend as priority. But if that does not happen or nobody is able to take them, those children are going to be in foster care or they're going to be in a home. You understand? It might be foster care because foster care is usually very temporary or temporary. It doesn't have to be very temporary. It could be years, but it could be temporary. But they may have somebody on the foster care system that just takes them for a short duration of time while the investigation is undergoing because they have to do certain things. They have to do a medical assessment. They have to speak to a child psychologist. There's a lot that needs to take place, and it will take place over a period of time. I think they actually mentioned how long the process is going to take. Right? So once they have gotten to the bottom of things, what if the children come forward and say, listen, this woman beat me every day. The man at the shop always touch me up and she ever send me out there. Me just give examples. I'm not saying this is what happened, so don't run with the wrong thing. But what if the children disclose all of that? Then them kids ain't going back. You understand? Hey, Lady V. Hey, big up yourself. Yeah, man. Right? They say. So, what is the next comment now? They called her the day before. She said, "I don't have time." Yeah, she said she don't have no time. So how can you not have time for child protective services, but you have time for go white per man when they're trying to engage with you? Big up yourself, baby. Guys, to like and show appreciation for the platform, please tap twice on your screen. Yes, thank you so much. So I'm saying to you people, listen, de-stressing is something that, yes, I can fully understand and I can empathize with. Being in the household might make her more depressed because everywhere she looks, she's seeing a reminder of her children. I understand all of those things. But you see, the little time I was in Jamaica, when I tell you that there are so many ways one can de-stress, so many things that one can do that do not involve being in an environment and seen in a particular light as a public figure that Rosalie could have chosen to do. So what happened? People not go to Morgan Harbour again, go sit down at the hotel, have two little fruit punch or rum punch, whichever rack you fancy, or a little Cavassier, a little Coke, or whatever the hell you drink, while overlooking the seaside. Get a little plate of food. People not doing a little something there again. You have to go Mecca. We don't only pass like this music, go skin out and wine. You trying to tell me that's all Jamaica has to offer for de-stressing? You see the points. Because I love some breakout, Me too. But I'm just talking about optics here. There are many things Rosalie could have done to de-stress, is the point I'm making. Yeah, gonna am two fish broshaka. Warm to glorious and these things. You understand? There's a lot of things that you guys could have chosen to take Rosalie out to do. If you need her for go de-stress. Drive her or go out for a day, no? Go book a day in one hotel, no man. Go relax by the pool, Rosalie. Little all inclusive in your system. Me just a say. Keep her calm. Nah, you guys are into feeding your immediate self-gratifying needs, your impulses, without thought and logic. Mecca wasn't it, and the people saying she need to have fun are crazy. They're crazy. They are crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use no common sense. Because it not have to be capital sense. It could just be common sense. If you think optics do not matter, they do matter when your children are under assessment for neglect and abuse. If Rosalie was not under the microscope, we'd have nothing to say. Or no, would they focus on the false narrative of the romance between she and Akeem, which me not really business with. But you know, I only speak on this as a matter of the heart because children are involved, and that's where I always have an interest. We would not have cared. But she is under the microscope. She is being assessed for suitability for parenting. As a public figure, you have to think about how things look, brother. I'm telling you, there is a whole political thing behind this that the ordinary layman will not be aware of and will not pay attention to. And that is the government's focus on influencers. They are studying how to use you and how to dash someone away. Because now they are realizing the power of influence. Many have hired influencers to sway the public in the direction they want it to go. I want to know one of the loudest one with on social media. Already. Students. All right. So some of wonder what them consider to be a waste of space and people will give wrong idea of what Jamaica is supposed to be like. You know, just go on. Carry on. Do no foolishness and see what will take place in the next 5 years or so. All I want to know, them going to make example. If you don't think so, you can do certain things on huge platforms where you have huge audiences and get away with it. I think we out here are more concerned than her. She seems totally unbothered. Listen, I ain't concerned about Rosalie, you know. Rosalie can go about her business. But let me tell you my concern now. Because you see, if those children actually do get taken into care permanently, I need you to look into, just take a little trip down Google University. Look into the experiences of children in Jamaica who have grown up in the systems. Now, if you are lucky, you will end up with a foster carer. And most of the foster caring stories that have come out of Jamaica that I have read so far have been very, very positive, to the point where a lot of the children, when they have to leave their foster carer, they bawl their eye out, their heartbreak, they don't want to leave. Because it's like they're getting an idyllic environment, a parent who is really and truly invested in their development and listening to them, giving them a real listen to whatever it is they have to say. and they're going from that environment back into whichever situation they're coming from, unsure if that parent has changed. Right? Hold on 1 second, guys. 1 sec. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Right? So, if them end up with foster carers, they can have a good time of this, right? But only once again, foster carers are not meant to be permanent because that's not considered adoption, right? Okay. But you see, if they do not have suitable foster parents to necessarily take both children because you want to keep them together, etc., them can end up in a home. Have you heard the nightmare stories about homes? When you go to homes, you get exposed to all sorts. You know how much abuse those kids go through? I don't think you can even fathom some of the traumatic stories that I have heard coming out of children's homes in Jamaica. And it's easy something. And nobody can really love your kids the way you can love your kids, providing you are willing to love them. So, Rosalie, yeah, go on about your business. But you see, if it's not another family member who can give them love, there is a point for concern for all children who end up in environments like Rosalee's. I'm just telling you that for you to let that be food for thought. Big up yourself, fire feelings. Let it be food for thought for you guys. We're not saying Rosalie can't go out, enjoy herself, take her mind off things. But really and truly, if you think about logic, where should her mindset be right now? Should it not be invested in how do I turn myself around and my situation around so that my children can come back? Partying, music, whining pan man, smoking, drinking, all of that is a distraction from the more important thing. Who should be the priority? Not her self gratification, but her kids and her kids' happiness and security. Anyway, big up on a nice clean self. I tell you, I come for chat for a bit and go about my business. Please do not forget to like up the video. Yep. And drop those purple hearts for me as we exit this live. Big up yourself, people. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.